Welcome to UCR. My name is Craig Anderson. I'm filling in for my daughter Zia today. She got called into work at the last minute, so I'm glad to step in for her as she has for me many times. Whether you are in Zoom or here in the sanctuary, we're so glad that you're with us this morning. No matter how old or young you are, wherever you are in your spiritual journey, however you identify, whoever you love, please know that you're welcome here. And a special welcome to all of our guests today. I see a lot of new faces this morning, so we're glad that you're here. We're delighted to welcome back pianist Gianne Zhu, hiding behind the enormous choir. Okay. I feel like I'm introducing a band. So we're delighted to have our guest pianist back today. She's been with us, I think, 3 times? 3 times before, so welcome back. I have a handful of announcements for you today. The first is about the alternative gift market. Who's gone to the alternative gift market before? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? So it's one of the bigger events at UCR. It's a big holiday event. It's a way to purchase gifts for people that are donations to charities, and you get a card, and it's a really nice thing to do over the holidays. So we're looking for volunteers to help with the 24th UCR Alternative Gift Market. It will be held on Saturday, December 7th, and really welcome any new members who'd like to help plan the annual event. If you have organizational skills, accounting, computer, PR skills, a significant pulse, we can put you to work. The best part of this committee is that it only meets for 4 months out of the year. So it's like low-hanging committee fruit if you're interested in getting involved. If you'd like to learn more or to join the committee, please contact Denise Kerwan. Denise, are you in the sanctuary today? She might be on Zoom. Following the service this Sunday, today, we're going to have an RE family and volunteer meeting and lunch in the sanctuary. If you have school-aged children or if you're interested in volunteering, you can please stay here. Children and teens are also welcome. And if you're not involved in the RE program, we're still going to have coffee and conversation in the East Foyer, and you're welcome to stay for that as well. Third announcement, the next issue of the UCR Connection, our eBlast newsletter, is scheduled for 5th of September. If you have any news that you wish to share in that edition, please send it to Harry, our new UCR office manager, and he will take care of that for you. The inputs are due by September 7th, and if you haven't met Harry, definitely stop by and meet him if you can. We're really happy to have Harry as our new office manager here. And I have a late breaking announcement from Lee Norrgard. Where's Lee? Oh, he's here with this enormous choir. So Lee Norrgard is looking for some additional volunteers to help with ushering over the next few months, weeks and months. And so if you're interested in being an usher, Lee will tell you what to do and help you out. It's a fun thing to do. You know, you get to kind of meet everybody when they come in. You get to help with the offering and things like that. Men and women, Lee says. It's everyone. So at this time, let us center ourselves for worship. Please take some deep, quieting breaths. And let's enter our time of worship together as we enjoy this morning's prelude.
See Good morning and welcome. I'm Reverend Aileen Fitzke, and it is my honor to serve this congregation as its minister. Our opening words this morning are by Mike Johnson. In our water ritual this morning, we bring water from the many places we live or the places we have visited and pour it in one container. All of the water mixes together, and every drop has some of the molecules of water from every place. So if you take a small bottle of water out, you have the waters from many places in one bottle. Each time you have a water ritual, you add some water from the bottle you saved from the previous ritual. In that way, each ritual, each small bottle contains the waters from all over the world. Why would we want to have a small bottle of water from everywhere in the world? For me, first of all, it is one more way to make tangible the sacredness of water. All life comes from water. All life needs water to survive. Water moves through the whole ecosystem, nurturing and transforming life as it moves. It rises from the ocean in evaporation, forming clouds in the sky, and blown by the winds, it returns to the land in the form of rain or snow. This precipitation falls into the soil and gathers in the streams and aquifers. In the midst of this journey, it also travels through bodies of every living thing. Every being needs water: insects, birds, animals, fish, humans. Water also rises up into the stems of plants and trunks of trees, but none of the water is isolated from the rest. Even our own bodies are part of the watershed. The water goes back to the air or the earth and continues in streams and rivers on its way to the ocean. The cycle keeps going around and around. All the water on earth is really one water, continuously flowing through the biosphere. Even if we get water from our kitchen tap, the water has been around the world on its journey. All water is connected and connects all of life.
Our opening hymn today is number 1046 in your teal hymnal, Shall We Gather at the River? Please rise in body or spirit and join us.
Flowing by the Good morning. Our chalice lighting today comes from The Spirit of Water by Katie Savani Gelfand. We light this chalice as a symbol of reunion. We reunite in this sanctuary to share the flow of our hearts with one another. We gather together in ritual to celebrate our fountains of joy, to hold each other through storms of grief, to guide one another through rapids of transformation, to rest together in ponds of stillness. Together we honor the Spirit of Water, its many forms and its life-giving essence.
Here at UUCR, we have a closely held tradition of singing our covenant together every Sunday. Love is the spirit of this church. So we will remain seated as we sing our covenant together. And if you are here this morning for the first time, we invite you to accept this song as a blessing to you.
It is now time for all ages, so if anyone is feeling young of body and would like to come forward and sit on the floor and help us act out the story, you're welcome to do so. And no worries, wherever you are, you can help out too. Welcome today. Welcome, welcome. Once, there was a family of beavers. I think we might have a photo of some beavers here, like that. They stood beside a stream, and the very youngest beaver watched as leaves floated down the stream and watched as water went around a stone this way and that way, different every time. The young beaver put its paw in the cold water of the stream and pulled it out quickly. You want to try that? Put your paw in and watched ripples go out from the side. Again, and laughed, watching the ripples go out. The parents, as some parents are like to do, always seem to have places to go and things to do, and they called out, "Time to go! We need to find a new place to live." And the beavers all jumped into the stream and swam. They swam and they swam and they swam some more. And then the parents stopped and said, "This looks like the perfect site. Look at the sides with all those yummy, yummy willow trees. And look there, the banks are close enough that we could build a nice, strong dam and then have a great pool for our house." That evening, the beavers began to cut down trees with their two sharp teeth. Yes, just like that. They gnawed around the trunk of the tree until it fell across the stream. And they did that again and again. And then they added some twigs and some mud, and then they patted the mud in with their tails, those big flat tails. And if you want to pretend to be a beaver, you can pat that mud in. Yes. Then they were, yeah, with the tail, yes. And the littlest beaver noticed that the stream began to get wider on their side of the dam. The next day, they began to build their house. They piled up twigs and branches in the middle of that little pool that they'd created. And then they dug an underwater entrance. And you could do some of this, dig an entrance and pile up twigs. And then in that pile of twigs, they cleared out a little room. And when it was just big enough for their family, it began to rain. And the family went inside their lodge and listened to the rain. And you can all help make those sounds, the rain that they heard. First, they heard drops falling one at a time on the water. Just snap your fingers once in a while. Okay, and then faster and faster as the rain got faster. And then it got harder, so you couldn't hear the individual drops. And just rub your hands together, and faster and harder. And then it became even harder. Pat your thighs, and harder, and harder, and even harder. So clapping, it's a big loud. And every once in a while, thunder crash. And when that happens, you can clap once very loud and say crash. And let's try that. The thunder crash now. Crash. And keep up the rain. And the thunder crash again. Crash. And rain some more. And it began to get quieter and quieter until it back to slapping your thighs. And then you hear individual drops with the snaps until the rain finally ended. The beavers went outside of their house and they looked around, and the littlest beaver noticed that their pond was even bigger than before. They had a wonderful time. The family liked their pond with those yummy willow trees that they got to eat. And the little beavers played on the banks and on the dam. And they swam in the pond and played there too. Life was very good until one day, the littlest beaver heard a crackle and said, "What is that?" The parents slapped those big tails on the water and said, "Run, swim to our house fast." And they did that. They went into the house and they heard more and more crackles. And you can help with some of the crackles. Crackle, crackle, crackle. The littlest beaver was wondering what was happening and tried to peek out before the parents locked the door. And the beaver glimpsed tall, red flames looking through the water. There was a forest fire, and it was going crackle, 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 crackle. The beavers were frightened as they listened to that crackling, but eventually it stopped, and the smell of smoke seemed to go away. So they went out carefully and looked around. The little beaver looked over the dam to the other side and saw burned trees and charred bank. They were so worried about the other animals that didn't have a place to build a home in the pond that they couldn't do that. But they looked around, and around them, the trees and the grasses were green, and the forest animals were around them on the banks. They had all been protected by the moisture of the wetlands that the beavers had created with their dam. After that, more and more beaver families built lodges up and down the stream, and our beaver family and their home grew and thrived. So ends the story, at least for now. And as you go back to your seats, I invite you to take a bundle of chenille stems or pipe cleaners, and you might want to create something that you could see along a river or a stream, or maybe something in your life that's changing. And there are also baskets along the aisles, one back near Greg and Bruce, and there will be one over on this side. And decisions. So everyone can take part if you like. And you can return to your seat.
Thank you, Linda. Now is a time in our service for the sharing of joys and concerns, so that no one ever has to hold them alone. If you are joining us remotely this morning, you may wish to light a real or virtual candle wherever you are to mark what is in your heart. As the members of the in-person congregation place stones in the water here in the sanctuary. If those of you at home would like to share what is on your heart, you could share it in the congregational chat on the screen. Please write to all attendees, and please remember that what you share will be public. Those at home may then read others' joys and concerns that are shared in the chat and enter into your own time of reflection and prayer as we listen to Gianne play our meditation music. And I invite those in the sanctuary to come forward and place stones in the water. us be one in prayer and meditation. Spirit of life and love that so faithfully animates our creation, we are grateful for this community that is with us in times of both joy and sorrow. We hold in our hearts this morning all who are facing any hardship or difficulty, those who are grieving or facing illness or disability in themselves or friends or loved ones. In particular, this morning, we hold in our hearts and prayers all those suffering from war and violence. For them, we light this candle. Let us take a moment of silence.
As a self-funded church, UCR relies on the generosity of its members and friends to fund our daily operations and to ensure that this church and its resources are here for us and for others now and in the future. Pledges support our worship and music programs, our religious education program, programs for members and friends, our community outreach, and connections to Unitarian Universalism, and these cool new speakers and the new microphone we just got. We now invite you to support the work of UU Reston by making your donation to the collection plate if you're here in the sanctuary, or you can use the link in the slide in the chat box. Thank you for your generosity and support of our beloved spiritual home.
I have lived most of my life near large bodies of water in which I could swim. The Jersey Shore in my childhood, the California coast as a young parent, near Lake Cayuga in Ithaca, a very large, deep glacial lake. One of our concessions for leaving California coast that we would be near another large body of water, even if it wasn't the ocean. The lake was beautiful. I spent time on the lake with my children as we did the floating lab, a boat that took us out in the middle of the lake to do water testing as part of a citizen science program. If you didn't catch from last week, I love being near, in, on water. They say you can't walk in the same river twice, and it's true. Because the rivers and streams where we live are always changing, always moving, always being replenished, or not. We can treat them with respect, or we can damage them. Linda told a story today about beavers, how they built up water systems. In the book, Sweet of Tooth and Claw, there's a story about the cooperation of natural systems and people. The book tells of the restoration of Maggie Creek in Nevada. By the early 1980s, Maggie Creek before, for our AV people. By the 1980s, the area had been degraded into desert, where the water in local streams had declined over a century and had ceased flowing in the drier months of the summer. One of the causes was unfettered grazing of the cattle by ranchers, but who also had a deep affinity for the land on which they lived and had a stake in its survival, for their survival. Working with scientists, the Bureau of Land Management, and others with an interest in preserving the area, they all implemented new grazing patterns for their cattle, depending on the time of year. What they found was they could heal the land and the water with careful grazing and land management. Maggie Creek after. The area is now a lush riparian system in which water flows throughout the whole year, where vegetation grows to stabilize the banks of the small rivers and streams. And now a bunch of new wildlife flourishes, including beavers who have done their part in preserving and enhancing the water system by creating a series of ponds that hold and distribute water in a way that helps the stability of the whole system. It is amazing what happens when water and land are managed well, and what happens when people with what may seem mixed motives cooperate and collaborate for the good of all. As the Standing Rock water protector said, water is life. All water on earth is connected to all other water through streams, rivers, groundwater, aquifers, oceans. What we do to any body of water affects all water on earth. Everyone lives downstream. The same amount of water that was here during the time of the dinosaurs is still the same amount of water we have today. It is not a renewable resource. Once we use it or poison it, it takes a long time for it to recover. And so, like the people of Maggie Creek, we should be thinking of ways to protect and preserve what we have. And so, this morning, we bring our water that symbolizes the places we have been or the activities we have done over the summer. Water that symbolizes our connection to each other and to the wilder natural world of which we are part. And we put them together and mingle all our water to show that whatever our small contributions are, we are always stronger and more powerful together. So I know I asked in emails and announcements for you to bring your pieces of water, and I know most people forget. So up in the front are pitchers of water that you can just pour in for if you didn't bring your own water. And so I invite you all to pour water into the collective water. I will then take a portion of that water and sterilize it for our child dedications and other rituals this year. If you'll notice, there are 2 water stations in the sanctuary this morning. There's one up here, and there's one over there in the back. So if we do this correctly, everything should flow really nicely. So this side of the sanctuary, I would love for you to, starting with this row, go in the back, pour your water, and come up the middle to go back to your seats. This side, I would like you to start with this row, come up, and go down the middle. And the ushers will guide you. So, is everybody okay? Let's share our water then. thank you all. I'm really overjoyed at the amount of people who actually remembered, so that was great. So may all the waters gathered here remind us of what each of us brings to this community and of the waters that nourished us before we were even born. The water that continues to give us sustenance and energy for our life journeys, and the sustenance for all creatures on this earth. Amen, and blessed be.
Our closing hymn is Blue Boat Home, hymn number 1064. So please rise in body or spirit and join us.
Our benediction this morning is by Kaylee Rice. All rivers run to the sea. It starts with a drop, then a trickle, a burble, a rush of water bubbling toward its destination, and finally the wide, endless sea. All rivers run to the sea. Today you brought water, poured it into a common bowl. Though our experiences have differed, these waters mingle, signifying our common humanity. Today you came and shared in this sacred community. May you depart this sacred space, hearts filled with hope for new beginnings, a fresh start. Go forth, but return to this community, where rivers of tears may be shed, where dry souls are watered, where your joy bubbles, where your life cup overflows, where deep in your spirit you have found in this place a home. All rivers run to the sea.
We now extinguish this flame. But not the light of hope and truth, the warmth of community, the fire of commitment. These we carry forth in our hearts until we are together again.
The choir gathers to sing our postlude. I wanted to thank so much the musicians in our community who joined us with their instruments today. Peter, Henry, Karl, and Tim. Thank you so much for being here. And this time I'm going to give you a little warning that at some point I'm going to be turning around and inviting you to sing with us. And so you've heard the song. We did it as the prelude. We're going to do it again now together as the postlude. And feel free to join in with our beautiful soprano section over here as we sing the chorus. Can I have an F sharp? And it goes like this. You can sing with me. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted by and by. Lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. Shall we try it? Okay, you join us. Ready? I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. I'm gonna let myself be lifted by and by. Lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. Awesome. So you'll be ready when we get there.
Every time I feel this
stand up and join us.